of your individual groups, basically. I think the conversation we had on Saturday, each group, I mean, A and B alone would, group A and B will present their work on the assignment that was given. And that's what we're going to do for the first 30 minutes. And then after that, we'll be able to progress with the what's it called, with the topic for this week. Just to know where to start between group A and group B. How many people are in group A on this call? If you don't mind raising up your hand. So we'll just start with the group with the highest number first. How many people are from group A? If you are from group A, you can just raise up your hand to indicate. I want to believe that we have people from group A, Emmanuel, Sam. Who else is from group A? Okay, 3. Emmanuel, Sam, and Babatunde. Okay, how many people do we have from group B currently? Sam and Emmanuel. Okay, I will lower your hand. Okay, I've lowered your hands. Group B, if you are from group B, please raise up your hand quickly. Bami. Who else? Okay, I think we can start with group A, basically. So you can unmute. Who in group A is presenting for your group? Who in group A?
I'm presenting for group A.
You are presenting for A, Sam. Okay. See if you can share your screen. If you can't, share.
Okay.
Yeah. So I currently said all participants can share. Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? The host, okay. So try to share, Sam. You should be able to share now. So you have the next 15 minutes. I'm just going to go on mute. So you have the floor. 10 minutes to present and 5 minutes for us to ask you questions.
Okay.
Okay, you're not able to unmute. Okay, you were able to unmute previously, so you should be able to unmute. You may need
I
to
think,
use.
yeah, I've unmuted it now.
Okay.
I'll just attempt to share again.
You're still muted. I think while you're trying to share, select the option that says share your whole screen. I think that should help you.
Okay. Try. So I'm sharing entire screen
Yeah,
and I'm clicking also share system audio.
yeah. When sharing computer audio, when you pause or stop sharing audio, your microphone. Oh, stop sharing audio. Sorry, I think that's the issue. Don't share audio with your with your presentation.
It should be better off now.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm presenting on behalf of Group A. We were given a task where there was an APT phishing attack on an organization, and we've come up with some measures to mitigate it. One of which is we're going to use Microsoft Defender. And first of all, we'd like to talk about how we can use Microsoft Defender to identify malicious attachments, which is usually what is used to propagate phishing attacks. So for the malicious attachments, Microsoft Defender has a feature called Safe Attachments. So Safe Attachments gives you the opportunity to collect those malicious files in a sandbox or a safe environment where you can detonate it, so to speak, meaning you can cross-check and verify the how malicious those files may be. And there are some configurations that can help for you to be able to put that in place. One of which is deployment of anti-phishing policies using Microsoft 365 Security Center. So this feature uses machine learning to enable mailbox intelligence and understand the user's normal communication pattern. So in essence, it flags off any abnormalities that it senses in the pattern of the user. And for you to configure this, you have to go through the Microsoft Defender portal, email and collaboration, policies and rules, threat policies, and anti-phishing. Next on the list, we have safe links, which helps protect users from malicious URLs. So you can have a URL that might look safe, but most times when you hover your mouse on top of the URL, you realize that the extension is probably what you don't recognize. So you can configure 365 Defender to be able to protect users from such malicious URLs using this configuration on the screen here. Next, we have the safe attachments, which is what we just spoke about. So usually spear phishing, like in the case we are talking about, carries dangerous attachments, usually disguised as invoices, contracts, or even simple memos. So safe attachments it enables you to open such malicious attachments in a virtual environment, in a sandbox in this case. And so you can observe the malicious behavior if there is any before delivery. We also have the configuration for that here as well, all on the 365 Defender portal. So the next activity that we have is to list the steps you can use to block or quarantine emails based on the content of the malicious file. The way to do that is to go on to the 365 Defender portal, navigate your way to email and collaboration, policies and rules. You go on to threat policies, safe attachments, then you can create a policy. And you can configure the policy as follows: turn on safe attachments protection. So this act or this instruction will select quarantine or block to prevent delivery of the malicious attachments. So when you've run through the policy, you can save it for implementation. And there are various ways you can implement the measures we've recommended above, one of which is the tenant allow or block. You can do this by going on to the 365 Defender portal, email and collaboration, policies and rules, threat policies. Then you find the tenant allow or block lists. So on this list, you click file, then you can add what you would want to block on the list. Then input the file hash, set the block entry, and then click add. So to get the file hash, you need to run a PowerShell script, which is what we have here. So it uses the SHA-256 algorithm. Next, we have the anti-malware policy. This is also available on Microsoft 365 Defender portal. How to access it? You get to email and collaboration, policies and rules, threat policies, anti-malware. You name the policy, then configure the protection settings, which will include file type. If you want to enable 0-hour auto purge, you could do that as well. Then you click on submit, which will put the policy in play. We also have another policy for anti-phishing. Same on the Microsoft 365 Defender portal. How to access this is through email and collaboration, policies and rules, threat policies, then anti-phishing. You name the policy and configure the phishing threshold and protection. Then you submit it for implementation. We also have the safe attachments policy, which we've talked about extensively earlier. So to have this set up, you go onto the 365 Defender portal, email and collaboration, policies and rules, threat policies, safe attachments. You name the policy, then configure settings to block. After which you would submit this policy for it to be implemented. Then we also have the safe link policy, which will be the last we'll talk about for implementation. To enable the safe link policy, you go onto the Microsoft 365 Defender portal, email and collaboration, policies and rules, threat policies, click on safe link. As usual, you name the policy, then configure the URL and then click protection settings, as well as the notification settings before you submit. And finally, at the end of the day, an alert policy would have to be sent to the SOC team. So for the alert policy, you would include some triggers. For example, if you have a file coming in or a link coming into a file with an extension like, for example, MSI for what is supposed to be a Word document, this should raise a red flag. So we could add, these are the examples of the file extensions that would
Yes,
advise
we
the
can
SOC to. Yes,
run.
please.
Yeah, you have those. I mean, you've exhausted your time. If you can quickly round up maybe in the next 1 minute and maybe 2 minutes to quickly show us how you've configured it.
Okay, that's fine. So we have the blacklisted file extensions here. We have the steps here to create an alert for the SOC. So it's here listed through the 365 Defender portal. And we have new alert policy. Under activities, you select phishing email detected, email messages. And at the end of the day, you click create to activate the alert policy. So for the practical demonstration, we don't have this here on this system. So I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to demonstrate it here.
You didn't have time to do it, you mean, or you did not do it. You have technical challenge. What happened?
We didn't do it.
Was it because of time constraints? Did you have technical challenge? I'm trying to understand what happened. So that so that I know how to help you in that regard.
Okay, so the the problem is we didn't try it. I Because of technical challenges. That's why.
Okay. I think someone reached out to me personally. I can't remember who now. About having technical challenges. While this is a nice document, well, I think I want to maybe I should hold off on my comments for now, so that I can round up after seeing what group two also present. I can sum it up and save time. So I think I'm just going to note down my comment for now, and then I'll respond to everything together. For everyone else on the call, do you have question that you want to ask Sam on what has been presented? Any question, thoughts? If you have, you can go ahead and unmute. So Sam is perfect. That's what we are all saying. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Sam. Since nobody has any comments, thank you. I'll come back with my feedback much later. Group two, who will be presenting for you? Hello, group two. Who is presenting? Bami. Okay, Bami, you can go ahead and share your screen. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Bami. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead. You can unmute and talk. We can't hear you currently, Bami. I think you're still muted. Bami, if you had shared audio if you had shared audio like Sam did, you need to stop sharing, then you can reshare again without sharing your system audio. When you share your system audio, the what's it called? I mean, your mic is blocked. So you can stop sharing, then reshare without sharing your system audio.
Can you hear me now? Sorry
Ah,
about that.
I can hear you now, bruv. Taking action that you requested. So you have to
All right.
reshare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this okay now?
Yeah, it is okay.
Apologies, I'll try and make up for the time. All right, so this is the task given to us, and this is what we did in Group B. The task is to do three things. The first one is to detect, figure out a detection techniques to detect the malicious attachment. The second one is to work out the prevention measures to prevent the malicious files from getting into the environment. And the last one is to work out the incident response workflow. So I'll just quickly take us through what we did together as a team. So the source of the file is the link that was given to us during the training, which we downloaded from the ICA website. So this is the source, source of the file. And the first thing that we had to do is to work out the detection techniques. So the detection technique that we opt for is the safe attachment policy. This is so because we're dealing with safe attachment policy. So we went into the Microsoft Defender environment, and if you can see the screen, you will see the policy that we created here, the demo policy, which was called Group B Safe Attachment Policy, and all the information required were put in the table above here. So the group that we used to test this policy is the IT department. The action that we selected is dynamic. We chose dynamic because we don't want to monitor and we don't want to block. We want the email to be delivered first while the attachment is sent to a safe environment for analysis. The domain we use is shown on the screen, and the pilot use was the we can see the name here, and this is where we configure the policy itself. You see the details as well on the right hand side of the page there, where my mouse is moving. So moving down, this is this policy configured here, and then moving down, the prevention we carried out is we downloaded the file. We need to be sure, we need to check and analyze the file if it's really malicious or not. So what we did was we took it to the open source intelligence called VirusTotal. As you can see, 58 out of 67 vendors flagged the file as malicious. So what we did was to check for the details, and what we actually needed from here is the file hash, which was marked in red here, and this was used to configure the prevention measure here, and this was done in Microsoft Defender. You will see the policy here, which was set. If you look at the table, you look at the action to be taken was to block, and the main policy that we use, if you look at the time, the last used, which was April 22nd, and the time it was used, So telling us that it was used actually meant that the policy was active and it did what it was supposed to do. Now, how did we get here? How were we able to block the file? This is what we did. The file was sent from a personal email into the environment, into the test user, use the user that we set on the environment, and that was how the file was detected and was prevented by the policy, by this tenant policy that we set here. So we've achieved the detection, we've achieved the prevention, and then we moved to the quarantine stage. Again, we set the policy here, what the policy should do. Obviously, is to quarantine, and that was tested as well. And the last thing we were asked to do, we also checked to make sure that the file was quarantined. We went to Exchange Online to do message trace, and this is what we got from the trace. If you look at the status, the message was received, it was processed, but not delivered. If you look down, you'll see the steps taken, and it was actually categorized as spam. Again, we went into the quarantine page to see what was happening to the email, which is what you can see on the screen. Yeah, because of time, I have to move very quickly. And the last task that we're meant to do here is the workflow, to create an alert, to notify the SOC team when any malicious file or attachment is that is associated with the ATP that we talked about is detected. And this is a workflow. This is a policy we set up here, and this is the workflow here. What would trigger the alert is if a malicious file is detected. The severity we set it to is high, and the category is threat management. The notification should go to this email address, and this is a demo policy that we set up here. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bami. That's also exciting, and thanks for the details. I'll first give other people what's it called? Other people opportunity to ask questions, or to ask you to clarify anything that they would like you to clarify. Please, if you have any question for Group B, please um unmute and provide, ask your questions. Anyone has any question for Group B? Going. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Bami, and thanks also to Sam. Thanks to Group A and B. Yeah.
Can I stop sharing?
Yeah, you can. I think you can leave it shared. You typify some of the comments that I have for Group A. So you can scroll up to the start of your presentation. I think that will help me showcase some things while I also give you your feedback as well. The first thing I would like to say is about how to do technical reporting, right? I think this assignment is for twofold. One, preparing yourself for a role, if you so wish, in a threat analyst, or maybe as a SOC engineer. And I did mention that in one of our earlier sessions, that data presentation is very crucial, because you would not just be talking to your peer, you need to explain details to a non-technical audience. For instance, you've implemented this policy. Maybe it's very unlikely, but it's also not impossible, to have a file that will have maybe a hash. In fact, I've not verified it if it's impossible. But I think there are times when you create a security policy and then you have a false positive that you need to tweak just to ensure that the level of false positive is minimized. And imagine that someone in the sales team who has been following up on a deal for over a year, your policy catch their email, and the client they've been trying to win over has been disturbing them to say that, oh, I sent you an email, I'm not getting it. You need to explain, you need to, I mean, they reach out to the IT team or the security team to actually explain that I have a client that has this issue. It's urgent, it needs to be on block. Or maybe they are getting agitated that if they don't respond on time, like you have for RFPs that will always come with a timeline, that they may lose the deal. So you have the responsibility of also explaining things to them to ensure that they understand you and also they understand what you are doing and they don't see you as an hindrance to their job. So it's always very good to write technical documents with your audience in mind. And this can even be to your CISO who has asked you to do this. And most CISO may not be very familiar with technology, but they understand the concept because at their level, they've actually grown through the ranks and they are focusing on strategic things or what has changed or what is changing in terms of tooling. So yes, I love the fact of your overview. I see you are trying to spotlight that. I love the fact of your overview, which gives everybody an intro to what you are trying to do. But if I were to write a technical document, I think the first thing you need to be able to define is what kind of document is this? Is it a policy? Is it a procedure? Or is it a an SOP? Standard operating procedure. So if you understand, that can guide you on how to tailor the document. So I love the fact that you use hyperlink for most of what you have done, but those hyperlink would have been best if you actually have a table of contents that also shows people at a glance what is contained in your document, and that will help everyone to be able to quickly navigate to the section of the document that applies to them. So a good security document should always have a purpose. I think you already clarified that with your overview, which is good. Group one does not have more of an overview. They went straight into what the document can, I mean, what the configuration is all about, and non-technical people can easily be lost. So it's always good to have a purpose or an overview. It's always good to define the scope, define audience, and to have document control. A number of times in standard organization and in standard settings, document control is very important. And if you are working in a security team that need to certify their systems against standard, things document like this may be evidence as your compliance with the framework. And one of the requirements of the framework, and what is even checked as one of the mandatory requirements of ISO 27001, is a document versioning, document control. So you need to put that in mind to have a document control, basically. And if you have reference to any external document or standard or regulation or anything, you can always put that reference here. So for what you have done here, it's more of a procedural document. So basically, I think it's okay for what you have done in actually the way you have approached highlighting what you have done, and this is good. But I think the part of for group A, everything I just said applies, and for group B, you may just need to work on document control references, like using a table as well to help people to navigate your document. the audience as well, who is the what is it called meant for, and that also can help quickly determine what is it called, the language that you have used in terms of does it make sense for the audience. So I think you should just have that in mind for subsequent assignments. But overall, you've done a good job. So additional comment for group A. I think I'm not sure if it was group B, but someone actually did reach out to me that they were having some issues, and at that time I was actually traveling. I was in plane at the time, and I
Yeah,
think,
that was me.
yeah, that was you, Bami.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really happy that you still went ahead to actually resolve the issue yourself even before I responded. So that's nice. I'll say group A and other groups, if the idea is for you to be able to actually showcase what you have done and also tag all of your group member on LinkedIn and the program itself. And doing that, having a good documentation showcase that anybody that is looking for new SOC analyst, if you put it all of this into your program keyword, I think you put something there, what's it called in sorry, I'm trying to get back to your screen. Prepared by Group B, Microsoft Threat Engineers. So one of the things I'll probably add to my profile if I go through this course is actually Security Operations Center and Microsoft Security Operations Center Analyst. And you can Google the number of times you have that job in every month on LinkedIn. And also Microsoft Threat Engineer. So if you are going through the course and you're able to do all of this, you actually qualify to use this term to describe yourself. And if anybody come to this space and see the anxiety things that you are doing as well and how detailed your work is, I mean, that just give you some leverage. So as much as possible, for group A, I think you can share what you have done, tag all of your team members so that everybody take glory for what they have done. And for group for group B, for group A, you can also improve on the quality and also share it as one of the exciting things that you are working on. I think that would help you also in the long run. So for group C and D, I also hope that you will take a cue from what has been presented today in actually how to approach also your presentation and your assignment when you're given on Saturday against next week Thursday. So I'll pause here. Wally, I don't know if you also have any comments. Um, yeah, share it in CSMG LinkedIn group. And I'll also say that share it to the broader community as well. I think you can share it on your LinkedIn and tag a CMG group as where you are, where you are learning. Just so that Wally, I hope you don't mind. I think it's just to create visibility for them as well, so that beyond the group, other people can see it and other people can see the things that they are doing, and anybody that have an opening in that area can always engage them. Wally, you can unmute and speak.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
thanks, Ayokumi. Nice. First, I need to commend everyone, and I'm really happy because first, the engagement I saw in the group chat was good, and it's a sign that you guys are not just in the class, but you're also listening. And I really want you to take that this Ayokumi has made it kind of participatory in such a way that as you are learning, you are also demonstrating what you are learning. And if you put this thing on your profile, even though you are not currently, working as a security officer or so, this demonstrates the commitment you have shown in learning. And most of the trainings I've seen, some things like these are missing. They don't really have the practical hands-on. So, but this is quite specific because we are dealing with a technology that is in use in many organizations. This is what I use in my office. So, and you can imagine, based on our intro, that Microsoft is the number one. So you can expect that this is already being used in many organizations and they are looking for people who know about them. So I encourage you, Group A and B has done a great job. It means that don't just see this as a classwork. See it as you preparing something that can be accessed by anybody globally. Because as you know, we put this on the internet, and therefore people are able to see what you have done. In fact, you can use it as a reference of what you did and presented. Again, I'm happy for you to share on your personal profile, happy for you to share anywhere. And as I see them also, I will retweet them. And as I mentioned in the comment, I want to just write something to update, just create some kind of awareness on what has been happening for the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And I will be tagging, if I see this particular exercise is shared, I will be tagging the members of the group to provide, again, that visibility. So this really is good for you if you are planning to break into cybersecurity. This is practical exercises that you can use to share. And you don't have to also wait to be in group A or B. I would expect that group C and D actually did what A and B, attempted to do what A and B has done. It means that if we give a task for C and D today, A and B also would try to do the same thing. So that at the end of the day, if we maybe individually, if we give the groups 3 assignments, you would have done 6 assignments. And that's enough for you to be able to prove that you have done something in cybersecurity. I'll pause there, and Ayokumi, I think we can go for a 10 minutes break, and then we will come back and keep on. Please also help share on the general group so they can. Yeah, I will go back to the general CSMG group and then make a post. All right, Ayokumi.
Yeah, thank you, Wally. Yeah, I'll go on mute for 10 minutes. Let me put on the timer.
Well, we can.
Okay. Thanks for the wonderful presentation again. And just like Wally mentioned, for other team, don't disenfranchise yourself from some of the from some of the assignments. We asked just 2 teams to present, just for us to save time. You can see that with 2 teams presenting and just the break, we've already spent 1 hour